Good evening. Parshas Vayakhev, Tavshin Pei Dalet. Very, very strange beginning of Parasha. Usually Moshe never did anything on his own. Was always ordered by HaKadosh Baruch Hu to carry out a mission, to do something, tell something to the Bnei Yisrael. Hakhel is a very big mitzvah. Bnei Yisrael, when they are together, there is a tremendous level of Kedusha that also connects itself up there. You understand that we were created as individuals just in order to be tested. The test is, I am. So if I am, you are not I. And when a person starts playing that game, he's putting out of this world. Why? Because if I say I, meaning I take a spot. And if I take a spot, mean HaKadosh Baruch Hu cannot be in that spot because it's my spot. Now, that person is kofer on Meloi Chol Haaretz Kevodo. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere. So how can HaKadosh Baruch Hu be everywhere if I'm here now? We spoke about this before. So Moshe Rabbeinu here is really putting himself on the spot. Vayakhev Moshe as Bnei Yisrael. He will gather all the Bnei Yisrael. Who told you to do so, Moshe Rabbeinu? You decided on your own? Why would you do so? What's the purpose? There's such an inyan, when you gather the Bnei Yisrael, Knesset Yisrael also, and it says, let's go into the psukim. I'm going to show you. Vayakhev Moshe. Moshe did it. Doesn't say Vayomer Hashem and Moshe Hakel like it says before he passed away. Eskol Adas. It's not Vayakhev Moshe Bnei Yisrael. No, it's S. S always comes to include something. Kol Adas. This time it's not it's Adas Bnei Yisrael. I don't think I'm going to have time to talk about this side here tonight, but every word teaches us something. There's no word in this pasuk that doesn't come for a tremendous purpose and a secret that's mind-blowing. Now you can pay attention. This I can tell you now, called Adas Bnei Yisrael. In other words, Moshe Rabbeinu insisted that only the Bnei Yisrael come, excluding who? Excluding the Erev Rav. Because Parshas Vayakhev was, in that, it's in the right order, comes after Sisa, after the ego. Once Moshe Rabbeinu saw what they're capable, how, we spoke about this last week, the midah of the Erev Rav is the midah of the Sitra Achra. It's Leitsanus. What is Leitsanus means? And today, we're going to have a perfect example of what Leitsanus is and where it takes a person. So it's taking something wholly important and make it unimportant. How? The way you frame it to people. You're basically telling them, don't overdo it. Don't be a farfrumter. Don't be this and don't be that. And then, boom. You're an instigator, and that person doesn't realize that he lost his life in this world and in next world. We'll see. Especially, in the Shir of Shabbos, we're going to see the connection exactly. You're going to see how the week is one, is Shabbos, and you have, but I will give it to you, Bnei there. Please, someone remind me by the end of the year, I'm going to give you the side of the week. And because you need to know that, even though it's going to be short in one sentence, but you will be able to, I'll give it to you in a way you will understand. Vayomer Aleichem, and he told them, Moshe Rabbeinu, Eile hadevarim. Okay. These words, Eile hadevarim, are mentioned 3 times in the Torah. That shows an importance, especially at the places where they're mentioned. First time, in the Aseret Adibros, Eile hadevarim. These are the words, the saying, the paroles of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It says also when we start Chumash Devarim, he's going to rehearse with them the whole entire Torah. Eile hadevarim. These are the things that we have learned, all the Torah and the mitzvahs. Eile hadevarim here. What are you going to tell them? Oh, I forgot. The mitzvah of Shabbos. And in the mitzvah of Shabbos, what you're going to tell them? Let's go together and see that Eile hadevarim doesn't apply here. He should have said Ze hadavar. This is what Asher tziva Hashem, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ordered la'asois oisa. Torah is full of example, even about mitzvah Shabbos. La'asoisam. You can combine these 2 words into one word. Why do you say here, la'asois oisam? Why do you want to add, grammatically, you should have taken the aleph and the saf and just put the mem at the end. We would have saved the word. Since each word in the Torah comes to teach us something, why it says la'asois oisam? Don't want to give you example about the psukim. I don't want to lose... I want to be on a very fine track today. Sheshes yamim te'aseh melacha. 6 days, a melacha can be done. It doesn't say you have to do. It doesn't say the word avoida. It says melacha. Occupation. You know, to give you an example, guy has a great company, very well oiled. He has to go there because he's the CEO, but the truth, he has nothing to do the whole day. He's bored. So he takes a Shulchan Aruch and he learns. And he doesn't bother anyone doesn't make any difference in the company because it's so well oiled, everything goes the right way. This guy doesn't have a avoida. It doesn't have, avoida comes from the word eved. Slave means hard work. He doesn't have hard work. He has very simple melacha, an occupation. The truth, he has nothing to do. He only occupies himself. Now, if we take, did I bring it? Yes. If we take in the Aseret Adibros, which is the holiest of the holiest, when the Bnei Yisrael were able to bring back the world to before my separation, to my separations before the Chet of Adam, and it says, Sheshes Yomim Ta'avoid, 6 days you will work. That makes no sense. That if this pasuk was said after the Egel, I would have said fine. Because of the Chet of the Egel, he affected upon us of the Bnei Yisrael. Instead of coming it lightly, now it has to come through hard work. Makes sense. But that should be said in the Aseret Adibros. That makes no sense. If Bnei Yisrael were at any time holy enough that the Parasha should come by itself, then it should be at the time of Aseret Adibros, as it says in the beginning of Parashat Sisa. Sheshes Yamim Yei Aseh Melacha. Even your occupation, your light work will be done, Chazal say, by other people. When Bnei Yisrael Zoichim, the work is done by others. When they're not zoiche, they're a little bit less, then they still have to do an occupation, but it's really no work. But when they're not zoiche, they have to work very hard. In other words, the person has within himself the barometer to know where he stands, according to what is required from him in Hashemayim. But then the order is completely wrong. In Parshas Sisa, the Parasha of the Egel, you tell me the Melacha is going to be done. This is where they have the utmost reward. And the worst is in the Aseres HaDibros. Should have been exactly the opposite. What is the secret? Now, we're going to see again. And if you take, Shabbos is mentioned eight times in the Torah. We're going to focus on 3 times because every time the language changes. And I brought you here the Lashon of the Pasuk. Oh, I brought it here. Sheshes Yamim Ye Aseh Melacha. In Parashas, this psukim here are in Parashas Sisa. Here it says Sheshes Yamim Te Aseh Melacha. In Sisa it says Sheshes Yamim Ye Aseh Melacha. And in Aseres HaDibros it says Sheshes Yamim Ta'avori. Makes no sense. Now look at this. Uvayoyim HaShevi, the 7th day, Yihye lachem kodesh. It will be holy. Why? Shabbos Shabbosoin Lashem. Whatever it means. And we're going to go through this, what it means. But I don't want to explain anything right now here on these words. He could have said Shabbos Lashem. What is Shabbos Shabbosoin? A Shabbos of a Shabbos to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kol ha'iseboi melacha, you must. Anyone who does a melacha will die. Now, let's go take a parallel right here. In Parshas Sisa, Ushmatem es HaShabbos, you have to keep the Shabbos, ki kodesh hi lachem. Now it says, Yihye lachem kodesh. And there it says, ki kodesh hi lachem. Mechaleleha mois yumas. It doesn't say you must, it says mois you must. Whenever it says in the Torah a repetition like this, mois be'olam hazeh, you must be'olam haba. Because someone who's mechalel the Shabbos will suffer a consequence that in this world, when we say mois, I mean, it has no more neshama, no more nefesh, no more ruach from the Kedusha. He receives everything instead from the Sitra Acher. And therefore, you must le'olam haba, because he's no longer, he doesn't have the buildup on the exterior. He looks like a Jew. In the interior, is worse than a goy. So why it says here, only you must. Now the pasuk is going to keep on saying something that seems to contradict what it just said. Ki melacha, anyone who does any melacha on Shabbos, v'nichresa hanefesh hahi mikerev ameya, he will receive a chorus, which is misa b'deshamayim. Two annotations, and just to show you the secrets. I don't want to bore you with these questions. I'm going to summarize you 2 questions, with which we're going to go this year. But I just want to finish this in order to give you a peek. The hugeness, if I can say that. There's no adjective really for Shabbos. It says v'nichresa. Mois is misa by basting. Kares is bidei shamayim. V'nichresa hanefesh ahi mikerev ameya. It's going to have kares. And now you told me And this is only down in this world. But most humans, we learn that it's be'olam hazeh and in olam haba. Just to show you the dance, and after that, it's going to repeat most humans. There is a dance here, which is the Zohar goes to lengths that are mind-boggling. Huge, huge on every detail, every side, from every corner. We have to understand, the basics. So I'm going to give you an introductory share. Just on Shabbos, we're going to touch a few points, but mainly the points of what is Shabbos, what is the school of Shabbos. And as I mentioned, after that, I would explain you that, what are the 6 days. We will understand what are the 6 days. So, because this is tremendous. You have a person can only make Shabbos, it's a circle, can only make Shabbos if he has a parnasa, brought in the midrashim, to no end. Why? Because Shabbos you can't work and you need to buy food. So even before the Tanaim, they used to work just for the food of the day and call the one who's working for the next day's food, he has a lack of bitochen, sure. But today we're planning even the retirement, we're planning everything as if we plan, we have a plan. You have a plan. Whenever we talk like this, it's taking out HaKadosh Baruch Hu from the equation, and most likely it's never going to happen. That plan. Rabbis machshavos belevish, many thoughts in the mind of a person, but atzas Hashem hisakum. But the only Eitzah that will stand, that will happen, is whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided. I'm going to start with the harsh beginning. Don't be scared. But, it's a fact. There's no way to play the ostrich and put our head in the ground when we are scared. We have to face it, and we have to know what Baruch Hashem, that we have this year. We're going to talk about it and what can be done in order to correct, in order to improve, in order to make sure that we're going to have Shabbos in this world and Shabbos in the next world. That's the key. Midrash in Bereshis Rabbah brings down on the pasuk in Bereshis at the beginning, and it says, Kadosh Baruch Hu said on the 5th day, Vayomer Elokim toitze haaretz nefesh chaya lemina. So there's a machlokes there, truly looks like a machlokes, but there's no machlokes, to be honest. Who is nefesh chaya? A nefesh that will live. Someone who has a nefesh. Says Rabbi Shaya, Rabbi Lazar, it says this is the nefesh of Adam Arishon that was created at the same time with the animals. Now, you want to go in metaphysics, why with the animals? Yes, you're right about everything you're thinking. And that's why the nefesh is pushing the person in the nefesh. There are two sides. There's one side connected to the ruach, which is holy, and one side connected to the guf, which is impure. And the side of the connected to the body, which is impure, is pushing the person and finding ways in order to carry out everything that would be against Torah, because it's very animalistic. Abba Yishai says, it says in the pasuk, Vayas Elokim es chayas haaretz. It's not so. Who's chayas haaretz is the nachash. Right after came the nachash. In other words, you see the scales in the world being created, the power of light versus the power of darkness. And the Midrash is going to prove, because it says 4 languages about the animals, the creation of the animals. So we see that in these psukim, we didn't need them in order to talk about animals. Elamai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu here is hinting the creation of the main 2 forces that are going to control everything in the world. Rabbi says, I disagree. That nefesh chaya, a living nefesh, if you translate it, means someone who lives with the physical soul, if I could translate nefesh, without having a body. Who are we talking about? It says these are the shadim that were created Erev Shabbos, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu could not complete his work to create them a body until Shabbos entered. And therefore, he could not create them a body, because it's also on Shabbos to create, to make a melacha. And says the Rebbe there, person should learn from there, derech eretz, from this, that if he has something, chefetz tov, something of value in his hand, a clear value, or he has a pearl, expensive pearl, and come Shabbos, he should not say, no, I'm going to be transgressing the Shabbos, it's too valuable. He should learn from HaKadosh Baruch Hu that himself stopped his work because the Shabbos, Shabbos came in already. So this midrash, if you take it from the beginning to the end, doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to dig into this midrash, because this is going to be our basic, our foundation to what we're going to understand later, because we're going to go quite deep today. Unusually in that share, but there's no other way around. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, all the Kabbalah in the Zeh, Allah b'machshava. HaKadosh Baruch Hu had nothing to say, nothing to do. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu thinks of something, his thoughts are so holy that right away they transform themselves into action, and the things are doing themselves. In other words, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Bereshis bara Elokim es hashamayim be'esaretz, Allah b'machshava shamayim ba'aretz miyad na'aseh. As soon as HaKadosh Baruch Hu thought about shamayim ba'aretz, they created themselves, them and all the tzevaim of the armies and the camps, of shamayim, created themselves. You want to tell me HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create the shadim, but because of a constraint of time, he could not do it? If HaKadosh Baruch Hu had something in machshava and he wanted to create them with their body, right away, the nefesh, whatever they have, and their body would have been created at the same time. Besides, you want to teach me Musar? Please learn how to teach Musar. You want to teach me Musar because HaKadosh Baruch Hu stopped working before Shabbos? This is a creation. It's like creating something on Shabbos, which is a Isur D'Oraisa. There's many Isurim in creating not only one of the Lametes Melachos, many Lametes Melachos Yoiber. So it's a Isur Doraisa, and many of them. You want to compare this to somebody who's holding a utensil of value or a pearl, but these are not muktzah. They're not even muktzah. So why should he refrain from holding them? Doesn't make any sense. Look at Siman Shin Ches. You want to tell me no? Because we're talking in a case like something of value, like the scalpel to do the milah, the knife of the milah, which the moel usually is very makpid not to use it for something else because it can get spoiled and it's costly, or the knife of shchita, which is costly also, and he would not use it for something else. Indeed, I'll give it to you. To the maximum, it's a Isser derabana. But if I need the space where they're at, it's mutter to move them. So you see, it's not a Isur muktzeh even from within. It's only from the outside. What comparison you want to do to creating a body from yesh me'ayin, from nowhere, creating a body for these souls, for the shading? How can you compare that? How do you want to give me musar when the two don't align? That's not musar. You anger the person when you tell him things like this. You want to mold an emotion into it within a pasuk that doesn't fit. How can you do that? What we see here is the shadim we created right before Shabbos. In other words, after the chet of Adam HaRishon. Was it related? Was it not related? That's not the share for it today. I just want to go and put these two powers, Shabbos and spirits, in perspective, and we're going to understand exactly where we're standing on Shabbos, what's the powers, and from there, we're going to start going down and down and down and understand all the way to the depth, the segula of Shabbos, the powers of Shabbos. Besides the fact that, there are other things, but I just want to go and give this foundation today. I want to say remain on script today because there's a tremendous chiddush already on looking, and it's complicated enough than giving you a high view from everything. No, Shabbos has to be understood in depth, and I'm taking you by the hand, and I'm going to remain on script exactly to give you one message. When Hashem created in the Bria, when he created the Shadim, he put them with the Merkava of the Tuma, in other words, with the Sitra Achra, in a hole in the Tehoim. And they had to stay there the whole Shabbos. They thought that indeed the reason why they were not completed, it's because that Shabbos came in. So they were expecting HaKadosh Baruch Hu to complete the creation Motzei Shabbos. So Motzei Shabbos, they come out. The Kedusha of Shabbos, we will see, is so powerful that it's not only a punishment for them to go and stay there. It's a life saving, because once we'll see which light, which Kedusha comes on Shabbos, he would burn them. Anyone who stays out would turn into ash within an instant. He wouldn't even be able to run. This oil is so powerful. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them that from now on, whenever Shabbos is about to come in, they have to disappear from the world. That's why we don't say in the bracha of Hashkivenu, Shomer Esamo Yisrael La'ad on Shabbos, we say Hapoires Sukkah Shalom Aleinu as we gonna say. So now these shadim are coming out on Motzei Shabbos, expecting to be completed at that time. And they see nothing happens. So right away they get angry and they start roaming around the world because they don't have a body, so they can fly. And they roam around the world and they try to destroy the world. Now, especially that when the world is inhabited, they try to go into people to get a body. But mostly they cannot. That's the reason. Right after Ma'ariv and Motzei Shabbos, we say Vihi Noya. And we say Yoshev B'Seiser. On Shabbos, we're going to go more into the side behind all this and explaining, what's happening. But it's going to be a lot deeper from the whole Shabbos all the way to Motzei Shabbos. But here, so we say Yoshev B'Seiser, it's called Shir Sharpgaim. This mizmer stops all the shading. In other words, we gain protection from them, especially for Motzei Shabbos, only because of Yoshev B'Seiser. That's our only protection, and they cannot approach us. That's why this mizmer should be said word by word, because any word that's not said, it's an opening for those guys to come. And then person should not have a taina why he has tzaras during the week. And because those are not going to be here on Shabbos, a person listen to these words, should never light, ever, ever, the candle of Havdalah before saying Yoshev B'Seiser and the Gdusha of Ubaletzia. After marriage, never. Don't go light a cigarette. Don't go do anything. Don't go, but especially fire. Oh, in our parasha, Moshe comes out and says, Lo yisevaru esh bechol Moshe v'yisechem b'yom HaShabbos. Out of the 39 melachos, he's only talking about fire. He's not talking about all the other melachos. Why aren't you talking about the other melachos? I understand now from the Zohar that this fire has something extremely trivial. But what? What is the fire? The first one to have, the Midrash brings down in Parasha's a story, a very strange story. It's in the middle of a Parasha, Midbar, that Anna, the pasuk says, his father sent him to go look for the donkeys. They had lost a flock of donkeys. So he went looking for them. He went into the Midbar, into the desert. The Midrash says, he saw there people that had half the body, they looked half like humans, half like animals. Some had the upper body of a man on the lower body of a horse or a donkey. And some had the face, the upper body of a cow on the lower body of a human. That's the Midrash. And they hit him, they pushed him, they took even his donkey and they left. And it says there in the in the pasuk, Asher motzai sayemim bamidbar. Nobody knows what's the yemim. What is the yemim? Okay, he saw strange thing, strange vision. Was he normal? What did he smoke that before? Maybe. No, the pasuk says the yemim, and the Tzara Amoyer, the father-in-law of the Bes Yosef, says it's missing a yud in yemim because we're talking about the shadim. Everything that describes the midrash are the shapes of some shape. There are many, they're exactly like humans. They eat, they drink, they reproduce. They're extremely strong. They go from one side of the world to the other because they don't have the limitations we have here, but they die too. They're Rishaim, they lie. The midah is to lie constantly. You cannot be trusted. That's why those Mekubalim that do Hashbais, the Mashbia, the Shadim, in order to know the future, it's very unreliable. I told you many times how to recognize those guys. Those guys usually have a candle in front of them, burning. Tell them, I don't want to talk to you until you turn off the candle. Look what's going to happen. Because they live in darkness on the other side. So he's trading with the other side. I'll light a candle for you, so you guys gonna have a little bit of light, but in return, you're gonna have to answer my question and tell me everything you know. So that's how they know crazy things. These guys is because they talk into the ear. They stand right by him and they talk in his ear, and that's why he cannot turn the candle off. Some ask, take a piece of paper. They give you a piece of paper. They say, open your button and wrap it up on your skin and give it to me. And he burns it. He's going to pretend that his Kabbalah is he burns it into the candle, and he's going to tell you the future. What he does, this is called Avodah Zara. This is called doing a korban to the other side. Meaning so every time you take something of yours like this, part of your nefesh is gone, and he takes part of your nefesh and gives it to the other side. These guys have Gehinnom till the end of times. They can look as frum as they want, and this is terrible what it says about these people. Anyway, let's go back on the. So now we understand. Explain the Tzara Amoyer, the Baram Saba, that why on Motzei Shabbos is extremely dangerous, and a person should be very careful because the only protection he has from them is by saying the Yosef Behinoyam, Yosef Beseisem, what we call the Kedusha, the Sidra, so Uvaletzia until the end. And thereafter you can do what you want. Because you have a protection. And he brings a proof to this. He says, we say in the Kiddush, Vaychulu Hashemayim B'chol Tzebah, Vaychal Elohim B'yam HaShavim, Melachto Asher Asa, Vayzun Tum Melachto Asher Asa, Vayvachel Asher Ba Elohim La'asois. La'asois is future, meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu had not finished his work in the world, and there was more to be done. And the more to be done was the goof of the shadim that was not created. The Ramak here explains what is the meaning. Remember in here, because it's referring to us, we're starting from the tail to understand the Shabbos. Lasois oisam. Remember, it says these words. So here we have to understand what lasois means. So the Ramak, Moshe Kodovero Zechus Yagen Aleinu, the Rebbe of the Ari HaKadosh, the Talmid of Reb Shlomo Al-Kabetz, Zechus Yagen Aleinu. He brings down from the Gemara of Menachos. It says, Zois HaTorah La Oila la mincha, vela chatas, vela asham, vela shlamim. And the Gemara says, what do you mean Zois HaTorah la oila? This is the Torah for the oila, for the mincha. The Gemara explained there, what is la oila? Loi oila. The one who learns Torah doesn't need a oila because the Torah is gonna get everything. La mincha. You don't need loi mincha. You don't need a mincha. La chatas. You don't need the chatas. The Torah is mechaper, and so forth. What is la asois? Loi asois. No, it was not done. It was not complete. Now, so according to what he says, it says, Vaychal Eloikim bayoim hashvi mikol melachtoi. When Vaychal usually means he completed. So if it's la asois, like the Ramak explained, Vaychal cannot be translated he completed. You have to say that he stopped. Now, with this in mind, we're going to be able to explain our passage. Moshe Rabbeinu tells them, yes, indeed, he didn't go to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He saw the damage that the Erev Rav did by doing the ego. They brought back death on all the Jews, the tzaddikim. Moshe Rabbeinu says, it's time I'm revealing the secrets of Shabbos to the Bnei Yisrael. I cannot divulge these secrets to the Erev Rav, but only to the Bnei Yisrael. And he's going to speak with remazim, with hints, but pretty clear. As we pointed out, everything we pointed out, we will see these are the hints in which Moshe Rabbeinu will reveal us tremendous things. So it says here, I think I'm going to stay close to the psukim because it's too big, not too ending. Vayomer Moshe, Vayomer Aleihem. Let me explain you this word. Let's start in order. So Moshe is going to take them back. Well, let's see. So we have, how much is this equal to? 474, right? Equals Erev Rav. These are the same letter as Das. We explained last week. Erev Rav hold in the Das of Paroi, Bila. Bnei Yisrael hold into the Das Elyon. Whenever it says the word Adas in the Torah, you know the Das Elyon is in there. We will have tremendous soidos because we are connected to the first three, the expression. We have Chokhmah, we have Bina, we have Keser on top, but they're not accessible. In our world, we cannot access them. However, the Das, which is right behind the mouth, the expression of the Das is always through the mouth. So we know that there's a connection to this world. And therefore, when we see Adas, we know something is cooking here. So he told them. So now we know one thing. Lasois means loy asois. Moshe Rabbeinu says there are things that you cannot do. The 39 melachos, but he stressed it. All the time, Shabbos is repeated in the Torah. It's Moshe Rabbeinu giving it. Again, Shabbos, we will understand a lot more why Moshe, but today also I owe everybody to explain that part. If you take Lassos equals 800, if we take Moshe in full, Mem, Shin, Hey. This is the inner core of Moshe Rabbeinu. We are within, inside, in the das of Moshe Rabbeinu here. How many times did I say Shabbos is in the Torah? 8 times. In the Bina. 800 is the Bina plus the, because as soon as, so the first 7 spheres have 10 each one. As soon as you go to the higher level, is 100. So the Bina incomplete is 800. And what you want, and what is in the Bina is the Gan Eden Elyon. Where is Shabbos? Shabbos is in, even though the 7th day is the Malchus, but the Malchus is going up to the mother, which is the Bina, and goes to Gan Eden Elyon on you'll understand more about this on Shabbos, but it's enough for today. Last, so Moshe Rabbeinu is stressing the purpose of Shabbos is to bring you to the Bina, to the Gan Eden Elyon. What is in Gan Eden Elyon? No mazikim, nobody can come. As soon as the Bina reveals itself, the light is so powerful, the oil and soil that comes out of the Bina, and it's already filtered. You have Atik Yomin, you have Arichanpin, you have all this in the Keser, you have Chochma, and now you have Bina. And still, even the lily, she runs away, because anyone who stays from the tumor staying in this world will be burned to ashes instantly. And we see why it's Moshe. Moshe had to do it, because Moshe is the husband, we call him, of the Shechina, Bala de Matroinisa. He has done so much he did the Mishkan. Only Moshe could bring up the Mishkan in Parashat Pikudei. You know, he is the one that can hand out the secrets of the Shechina to the Bnei Yisrael. And the secret of the Shechina is Shabbos. We will see. So we know now the correlation between the giving of Shabbos by Moshe Rabbeinu and why he's stressing up. Now we can understand the next one, why, and answer why it's not contracted in a contracted form. It's Oisam. Oisam are the letter emes. In Shabbos, the same way truth cannot suffer, percentages, cannot take, you can't say, I'm saying 90% of the truth. No, it's a lie then. Truth is a complete, 100%. Moshe Rabbeinu stresses that on Shabbos, it has to be our preparation, our avodah on Shabbos should be 1,000,000% complete. In other words, there's no playing games. Oh, this is not a melacha. It is okay. I can say what I want. Do you know that on Shabbos, a dibur choir, a wrong, speaking about a subject that does not correlate with Shabbos, and Shabbos has no bearing from it. Not saying that I will do this melacha, even if there is no melacha pertaining, like tomorrow I will go to the next city, which is within the Tchum. Let's say it's mutter, I could even go on Shabbos, but you said tomorrow. This is a desecration of Shabbos, but not a desecration to the low level, a desecration to the highest level, because dibur goes, the koil, the way we speak, is with our mouth, we create a sound. The coil of the shofar is the bina. You're affecting the 800. You're affecting the Kedusha of Shabbos. More than doing a Maaseh, because a Maaseh is only affecting the 7 first. You're affecting, with the wrong dibur, the top 3. The proof is, like the Magid Mesharim, now you should know is the Malach Dalant with the Beis Yosef, he explains, he gives a generality. What's Eile? We know Aleph is the Keser. Rabbi Akiva says, why is it called Aleph? Because Aleph is the first letters of Emes, Lamed, Picha. How do I access the Keser? Truth, teach your mouth. It's the Keser. Lamed, you can see it's a Chaf with a Vav on, right? Chaf, Vav, God. This is the union of Yud Kei, Chachma and Bina. So this is where we are, and the last Hey is the Bina by itself. In other words, this is the Keser, this is Chachma that gives an influx to the Bina, and this is the Bina. These are, so what it means, Pasal, so Chazal say in Shmos Rabbah and Bereshis Rabbah, when it says ve'ele on mishpatim, ve'ele on mishpatim, ve'ele connects you to the prior one. Eile, it's a new subject, cancels the prior. Explain the Magid Mesharim, what it means canceling him, means you're affecting them. Eile hadevarim. When you do these diburim on Shabbos, that are not diburim of Shabbos, you're affecting the first 3 meters. But a person who doesn't mold his emotions according to halacha, in contrary, he wants to mold halacha according to these emotions, that person is on the path with LGBTQ, whatever you want to add, acronyms on this, and all these great people, climate change, and all this. But the Baruch Hu told us there's nothing a human can do in affecting the Bria. We cannot. So whatever you want to decide what good is, and then mold halacha, then in that case, you are on the wrong path with those people that keep on lying and sell fake dreams to other people. You're a liar. If you're molding your mind and you're molding your emotions according to halacha, because we're only human, we don't know what Hashem wants, and we don't know how to feel about it. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us guidelines. And the fact that he gave us guidelines, we know that we should be sensitive to this. And this is what Moshe Rabbeinu says, Eile adevarim asher tziva Hashem la'asot. So please, life is in there. Be sensible, be sensitive to Shmira Shabbos. Keeping Shabbos to the last detail. Don't you think, vedaber davar, we only learn the Isur of Dibur Choil on Shabbos, we only learn it from the Nevi'im. It's not even written in the Torah, so really I can talk about it. No, don't you go by these logics where you try to mold the halacha according to your emotions instead of molding your emotions according to what the halacha says. This is where the crevice is. What happens in Shammai? I want to go fast. I don't want to hold you like says the Zohar Kodesh, whenever Shabbos enters, Sukkos Shalom, Hapoires Sukkos Shalom Aleinu B'Kol Yisrael. That's the bracha we do by Ma'ariv before Shmoneh Esrei. So Zohar says it's called Sukkos Shalom. A sukkah of peace comes down to the world. We know what sukkah is. Sukkah is 91. Yud Ke Vav Ke Ale Dalet Min Yud. A sukkah means There's a yichud of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shechina. But Sukkah Shalom, a Sukkah of peace, I don't know what this means. If we take, so if we don't know what it means, there's only one way to know. Sukkah Shalom, I don't have time for avoid. 862 equals nefesh benefesh. Equals twice. And I'm going to explain exactly what it means. When we say, okay, my son is doing a great work to summarize all the big inyanim for the show we're gonna have on Bes Hashem on Oitzras Chaim. So summarizing the concepts in a language that's digestible. And that's the reason also I think we're going to learn a little bit the Kalach Pischei Chochmah from the Ramchal, because he takes these concepts and brings them into the Da. So right now they're very metaphysical. And some people have difficulties to relate to something that's not palpable, that I cannot hold. So what the Ramchal did, he took them and brought them to the Das in small paragraphs what's the letters, what's the tamim, what's the this, and so forth, the punctuation in a short paragraph, and gives it to us in a digestible manner. So it's good to have them both ways, but my son can take the Ramchal and put it into these graphics there. It's huge. It's priceless. Priceless. Because that's going to make us learn at a speed that's tremendous on her. So why did I say that? Because I'm going back now to my Sukkah Shalom. There are 4 levels of yichud between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shechina. It's going to be nefesh, ruach, neshama, neshikin, kadishin, kisses. It's going to go from Yetzira, before the Chadoidid, what do we say? Ana bechoyach. Remember the Shemen base, the name of 42. 42 is 3 times 14. 14 is Yad. We have 3 lines coming down all the spiros. And the only way to elevate something in this world to the other world is by invoking those names of 42. So there is Ana Bechoyach, he will take the Shechina from Olam HaAsiya to Olam HaYetzira. In Olam HaBeriya, there's a different one, is Kehye Yud Hei Vav, the first 3 letters of Yud Kei Vav Kei. So it's 7 letters. Can I get this is where all the soides are in Olam HaBeriya. I'm saying the life of the 7 days is how many branches in the menorah? 7. Where is Neneh Maravi? In the center. What do the other Neres are doing? They're tilting toward the Neneh Maravi. In other words, Shabbos is the middle of the week. You have 3 days prior to Shabbos that refer to that Shabbos: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You have Shabbos in the middle, and you have on the other side 3 more days: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's a week. Keeping Shabbos is lighting the menorah. Lighting the menorah means bringing the Or Ein Sof from Shamayim to shine down. What is the pasuk saying that the menorah had to be shining upon? Was the menorah tilted toward the Aron HaKodesh? Now, this is, you would ask a person, oh, the menorah should light which direction? They are in a Kodesh, Kodashim, the Kruvim, Kadosh Baruch Hu is there. What kind of a question you have? Are you a dumb? Are you stupid? Are you an idiot? Torah turns around and says, you the idiot. You the idiot. And tell Moshe Rabbeinu to tilt it toward the Shulchan. Because if Bnei Yisrael don't have a Parasha, they cannot keep Shabbos. They cannot keep the mitzvahs. They can do nothing. So the beginning of the Aron HaKodesh starts with Parasha. So these lights of the 7 days, the 6 days are tilted. Why? Because the Shekhinah is going up. What they do say is the Zohar HaKadosh, the 6 days of the week come and encompass themselves within the Shekhinah and follow her up. So once the Shefa comes down, right away the Shefa goes into the 7 day, the 6th. The nearest of the 6 days were only lighting for a few hours. There was only one there that was remaining lit the whole time, then the middle one. In other words, the Shefa only comes from the center, from Shabbos. Whatever you're going to harvest during the week is only the level of your keeping Shabbos. On this, you have 3 levels. You have a level where your Shabbos is a conservative Shabbos. And in other words, you make up your own halachas on Shabbos. You don't have the first clue of what's supposed to be done. And instead of going learning, you're going to mold your understanding of Shabbos, which is basically the Reform movement was born based on this. I don't need to learn the Torah. I don't need to be Mekayim the mitzvah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to have a connection to my heart. Meaning I'm going to mold. It could be Avodah Zarah, but it doesn't matter. I have no guidelines. No, I have a mind. People don't realize that even Aaron HaKohen, we saw last week, when they stopped the connection to Das Elyon, he didn't even realize. And he made a mistake with his Das. Kol sheken, someone who's not holy as a Kohen Gadol, that is going to make a mistake. So a person whose Shabbos is kept in a very light fashion, this person is an Eved. Is going to be, you don't want to be an Eved of Hashem, you have a choice. Avodaihem veloi avadim la'avadim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a haftacha in there that Bnei Yisrael will be my servants. How do they serve me? With tefillah, with keeping the mitzvahs. Now you've been Yotze, and then you're not Eved to a Eved. Now you understand. It's not shaykh. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will keep his promise. It's not shaykh that you will have avodah. Avodah is only for a Eved, not for a free spirit like a Jew that only worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So you will get melach. Someone who doesn't worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu, okay, you don't want to be a Eved to Hashem, be a Eved to the Goyim. Work hard. So now you under the, in other words, HaKadosh Baruch Hu did us a tremendous favor. How many klalos were there at the time of the Chet of Adam HaRishon? 39. 10 to Adam, 10 to Chava, 10 to the Nachash, 9 to Earth. How many melachas we don't do on Shabbos? 39. We Shabbos, with the Kedusha of Shabbos, we can be transported to prior to the Chet. That doesn't apply. The klala of Adam HaRishon, Bezeya Sapecha Teicha Lechem, with the hardship you will gain your bread. No, you'll have your parnasa very easily. because that's the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. The same way an animal finds his parnasa wherever he lives, his parnasa is brought there. Also a human, kol sheken a human. And therefore, Shabbos is the feeder, is the elevator that brings to the person whatever he's going to have during the week. Now, the person, when he says Sheshes Yamim Tavoi, that's the person who keeps Shabbos very lightly. The person who keeps Shabbos, because now we're going to see we have two levels of Shabbos. We have Shabbos, Shabbos. Lashem. In other words, there is a Shabbos here, down here. Means we don't work. We refrain from working. We go to shul. Yeah, we make sure to go to the Kiddush afterward, and have no. That's not Shabbos, not here and not there. You have to understand that Shabbos equals 702. It's 27 times Yud Kei Vav Kei. Can I get the 27 letters of the alphabet in the Yud Kei Vav Kei? I have an urge to tell you a secret here, but anyway. And it's also the gematria of Torah, Yud Kei Vav Kei, Aleph Dalet Mim Yud. In other words, Shabbos, the true Shabbos is Torah. Because, and then and the intent with everything I do on Shabbos to make a yichud between Kutra Baruch Hu and the Shri. That's Shabbos. Shabbos Shabbosayin, once you do this, you create a level of Shabbos that go higher, that taps into the Kedusha of the Shabbos in Shamayim. Where is Shabbos in Shamayim? The Gehinnom doesn't work. For those who kept Shabbos, even the Rishayim that are in Gehinnom, on Shabbos this fire is turned off. There's no more fire. Now, this triggers us. You should not kindle a light, a fire. We thought primarily that we're talking about the melacha of lighting a fire on Shabbos. But now we see that we are talking about totally something else, maybe. Because the ash of the Gehinnom, don't light the ash of the Gehinnom with not keeping Shabbos properly. Why? The Zohar says, the only fire the Gehinnom doesn't extinguish is the fire for those who didn't keep Shabbos. That even during Shabbos, and it says there tremendous bizyonis that happened to those people. I don't want to go. I thought I would be, I have the stomach to reveal you this, but I do not have it. And I don't want to go into it. The only thing Moshe Rabbeinu says, anyone who does a melacha kindles the Gehinnom for himself on Shabbos, knowing the hardship of what it is when all the other Rishonim have a respite on Shabbos because they kept Shabbos. They did all the chet, but they kept Shabbos. These people are not. So Moshe Rabbeinu here is telling us, wanted to give you, where is it? Bechol Moshe V'Yisechem, says Reb Chaim Vital. What is Moshe V'Yisechem? How many houses you have? In my house. Bechol Beischem without a yud. Moshe V'Yisechem with the yud means plural. Says Reb Chaim Vital. Oilam haba and oilam hazeh. Because the fire of the Gehinnom is going to start for that person, not only then, but already right now here, it's going to happen. But I want to say something else. Why you should not do anything like getting angry, that we're going to see a whole shir on this on Shabbos. Anger lights up the Gehinnom, or anything lightly like this. It seems light. It seems it's not important. It seems it's okay. No, you're lighting the Gehenna for yourself. And Moshe Sechem equals the three bigger clippers. Moshe Sechem equals 812. What is the worst thing that can happen to a person in this world? It's to be in the darkness, choshech. What are the clippers associated with choshech? Which are the clippers that make the choshech? Ches for chamoyer, the clip of Ishmael. Shin for shoyer, the clip of Esau. Chaf, Caleb, the dog. The clip of who? Amal. When a person right away, the din in Shamayim comes, that this person is owned by that side. He cannot be saved. However, someone who makes Shabbat and Shabbos Kodesh, he brings the shefa and he brings the oil and he brings his parnasa on Shabbos for the 7 days of the week. There's not a day he's gonna miss something. And I'm gonna close on that proof. Loi seva'aru. Loi sadliku eish levatechem. Moshe Rabbeinu want to talk about the avara, you know. What means loi seva'aru? Loi seva'aru equals 709. Famous number for Ketores. But I'm not in the Ketores right here. 709, and this is going to give you a vision that will retie everything that we have learned so far into a little, like this huge balloon that you hold by the, you know, by a thread or by a cord or by something. It could be huge, but I'm not stupid. I'm not holding the balloon. I can't hold that balloon. Yeah, just hold the thread. That will give it to you. There are double letters in the Torah. Base, base. Gimel with the dagesh and without a dagesh. There's 7 letters. It's called the Bagad Kafras. Bagad. Base, Gimel, Dalet, Chav, Pei, Reish, Saf. Equals 709. In Sefer Yetzirah, because we need an explanation. So why these letters, only these letters come with a dagesh on a dagesh or whatever, they have the base. The Sfarim say Gimel, Rimel. The Temanim say Dalet, I think it's J. Anyway, so we see there's a, and everybody's correct in the pronunciation in Am Yisrael. Only us, for us, this is what works. For them, this is their way. This is their path to Shamayim. Everybody's correct. There's no one right and one wrong. Some Sefer says, B'Shem Reb Nosson Adler, that every derech and every nosach is 100% correct, but the only Neshama, Kadosh Baruch Hu put them there because this is their path to come to a tikkun. So now here, we need an explanation why only these letters are doubled in the Torah. In the Sefer Yetzirah, in Perek Hey, depends. Sefer Yetzirah has different orders according to the Grais in Perek Hey. According to some, it's in Perek Dalet. It's all the arrangement. So I'm following the Gra. In Perek Hey, these 7 letters are connected all the 7 of the world. There are 7 earth, there are 7 skies, there are 7 seas, there are 7 rivers, there are 7 days, there are 7 years, there are 7 days of the week. A person who's Mechal Shabbos, who kindle a fire on Shabbos, whichever way it is, with his words, with it, right away, all these 7 disappear from him. He put himself outside of this world.
it's not that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be stringent and punish him. He punished himself. That's why v'nichras, he will be eradicated from his people. It's not HaKadosh Baruch Hu will eradicate him. Not at all. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created you a cottage on a mountain, and you have you have 7 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, beautiful land, you have an orchard, you have a garden, and you know, the guy is crazy. He loves to play by the cliff to put on the rocks to show his brain. One day, the rock slides and took him down because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whoa, what happened? You took me for my time. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you idiot. You took yourself before your time. I put you and I gave you a great place, great thing. And now you took yourself out. He also, the person, that's why it equals Loi Sevaru Moshe Rabbeinu only brought that mitzvah. In other words, the Mekor HaBracha that we have it's diametrically opposite sides, keeping Shabbos and Chaz v'Shalom going to the fact that we learned. You think I would give you another share during the week, guys? You dream. But on Shabbos, he helps me also keep Shabbos and say more divrei Torah. So I have less time to go out. So I do it also for myself. Okay? And that's why I accept. As more Torah as we can learn, the more I accept. So to spend the whole Shabbos like this. But just to tell you that everyone, because any little deviation create tremendous upsets and problem during the week. Shall be Zeiche Be'ez Hashem, that to be accomplishing Shabbos the right way, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves the Shabbos. Kodesh Lashem. It's something that's very dear to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is how we can access the tremendous miles and gain tremendous chokhmah. Chokhmah is not the number of neurons like the evolutionists think, machshemam. It comes from Ator Choinen le'adam das. You give das, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Every time we daven Shmoneh Esrei, we get more das than the previous time. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.